There you go. Okay, fire away, Vanessa.
Okay, so, oh golly, I've got two windows open here, so I need to work out how to share my screen.
Just click on the window that you want to share the screen from.
And then share.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah?
Yeah, there you go. If you click on that, that's it. You're just working live now.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, I'm not gonna, well, let me start. Ignore what's on the screen at the moment. I'll just chat to you for a minute. So Google My Business. What is it? I now can't see all of you, so I'm not going to be able to get a show of hands of who's actually got a Google My Business account or anything set up. So I'm just going to chat my way through it. Some of you might have one. I had one. I used to be quite proactive with mine until Debbie asked me to do this talk, and I realised I hadn't looked at it for about 6 months. So thank you, Debbie. So what is it? Basically, it's a way to manage how your business appears in Google search results and on Google Maps. The first thing to think about Google My Business is, and I might just start calling it GMB because it is a bit of a mouthful, it is free. So really it's a no-brainer. It's free to get yourself on Google, the biggest search engine in the world, in a way that you want to show your business off. So if you haven't set up an account, do so. It really, it's all about local marketing and local businesses. And I do think it works best for bricks and mortar businesses, but that doesn't mean that you can't use it if you're not a bricks and mortar business. I'm not, and I'll show you my listing and how that appears. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to actually read this. This is what Google say. Listings on Google My Business can only be created for businesses that either have a physical location that customers can visit or that travel to visit customers where they are. So I think even if you go out and do networking, you've still got an area that you cover. So we can kind of work around the fact that we might not have a physical location for our business. Just to put it in a little bit of context, I found some stats which were actually a little bit old, they're from 2016, that nearly a third of mobile searches are location based. And to me, with my marketing head on, that makes me think that actually those people are in a position where they're probably ready to make a purchase. They're looking for somebody who can actually sell them what it is they're looking for. So keep that in your mind. What is my potential customer looking for when they look on Google? Now, at its simplest, it's a directory listing. So think Yellow Pages on steroids, but it can be quite dynamic. And I'm going to talk about that in a little while. So you can actually have it as part of your marketing strategy, and you can update it quite frequently. So I'll talk about that in a minute. What I want to show you first is how you appear. So first of all, I'm just going to show you this screen. So I put in the search box, marketing consultant near me. At the top, you get your ads. And then I'm sure you've done Google searches, so you've seen this. You get your map, and there will be companies with a little pin drop, and then there'll be a list of the top companies, and then you can click on more, and that will give you a bigger list of companies and a bigger map. So if I just find myself, I'm on here somewhere. There I am. So you can see I don't have a pin drop because I don't publish my home address because I work from home. So somebody like this company here who is an industrial mineral consultancy, I don't think they may be, not really a marketing consultant, but anyway, they have a website and directions. I just have a website. So when you set up your listing, you can say whether you want to use an address or not. And that's how you will appear. So you won't be on the map, but you will be in the listing. The other way that you might appear, which is slightly different, is if you know the name of the company you're looking for. So this is me. And then you will get a list of all the places that I appear and images from me. And then the map and the listing. Can I move you? Or let me move myself over there. The map turns up here. This red ring shows you the area that you cover. And then you've got some basic information. You can go to your website, you can put in your hours of opening, it will say whether you're opening or not, phone, appointments, and I'll go through this as take you through how to actually set all this information up. Reviews, I haven't got reviews, but I will talk about reviews in a minute. And then there's a little bit of info about you and your posts, which is where it gets fun. So let me move myself back over there. and I'm going to take you into the back end, if you like, let me just drop myself down there, of Google My Business. So you can see down the side, you've got all these areas. I'm pointing, let me point with my mouse. You can see all these areas where you can update your information, and you have a home page. Now, if you've never done this before, the first thing you need to do is go to info. And I do apologise, I haven't told you how to actually set it up, and I'm not going to walk you through that. A little alert there, what's that? Go away. To set up an account, it's quite simple. Google would just walk you through it. But what you do need is a Google account.
Might be worth just sharing, you know, you click on those dots and that's how they get into it. Yeah, it comes up with the icon, because some of them might not know that. Yeah.
So this is my account with a picture of my dog, not me. And these are all the things. So you've got Google My Business there. Yeah. So if you're in Google in any way, you can just click on those dots. Thank you, Debbie. I always just put Google My Business into the search thing and it pops up, and it's quite easy, but thank you. I shut them. So setting it up is fairly straightforward. And once you're in, I would suggest you go to the info page, which is this one. And this is where you can put all your information. Now, my top tip is if you've never done this before, sorry, Linda, I'm just looking at your dog. Gorgeous. If you've never done this before, have a look through and make a note of the areas that you need to fill in, and then get all your information ready before you start putting it in, because there is nothing worse, I think, when I've set up profiles on anywhere, of kind of getting halfway and going, oh, do you know what? I haven't got a logo picture sorted in the right size. I'm going to walk you through all of the things that you need to think about and collect, and then you can just go back and pop them in. So the first thing is your name. Now, that might sound really obvious, but especially if you're a fairly new company, you might not be 100% sure what your trading name is going to be. So, you know, I use my own name anyway, because it's a fairly unusual name. But just make sure that you've got a clear idea what your name is going to be wherever it appears, so that you're consistent everywhere. So there you go. So you put your name in. The next place is the category. Now, this is something that Google will give you a selection of categories to choose from. So you can choose your primary category, then you can add another one. So say I'm going to put in business. Oh, if I could spell, that would be nice. It prompts you. So you're going to have to choose a fairly broad category, and you're going to have to play around with that to find something that is the most relevant to your business. But as you saw, you can have a primary category, and then you can have secondary categories as well. So you can get a bit more information in there. But yeah, and you can change it. It says it's under review. That's only because I went in and just messed about with it the other day. I haven't changed what I do. But there is a warning. It's not actually, it is on here. If you're reviewing your listing at the minute, they're just saying things are getting taking a while to update. So if you're sort of going in and changing things right now, or, you know, after this, don't expect it to happen kind of overnight, because things are taking a little bit of time at the minute. So, if you want to put in your location, you can. As you can see, I don't. That's my choice. But the next bit is the service areas. So if you remember on my map, there was that little red sort of highlighted area. These are the areas that I've said I've worked in. Now, I could work anywhere. I do work mostly online, but these are the places I'm most likely to work. So just have a think about where you would travel to and where your clients are going to travel from if they're coming to you. And then you can work out your service areas. It's a good idea just to think of it from both ways. Then you can put in your hours of service, which are, you know, pretty straightforward. Special hours are where you can add in holidays or things like that. I've just opened it up so you can see. So you can select an actual date, and you can put it when you're open and closed. So it's good for Christmas, or, you know, if you're taking time off. If you want your phone number on there, you can put that in. The next one down is your profile name, which is what Google give you. And I think you can change this 3 times a year. I tried to change mine, as you can see. Thank you, Debbie. And it didn't let me. I don't know why. They didn't let me. So
like you said earlier, there is some functionality, because I was doing some updates for a client the other day, and I don't think they've got their full IT team in, which is what some things aren't. So come back to it is what I'm saying. Come back to it. It wouldn't let you do it.
Yeah, I think, thanks, Debbie. Now you can put an appointment link in. As you can see, I use Calendly, which is a scheduling tool, so you might use that or something similar. But before I used that, I just had a link through to my contact page on my website. So it's basically just a URL. So you choose the URL that you want to use and you send people there. You can put in products if you sell products, and you can put in services. Now, the products, I know I did put a product on there the other day and it actually appeared on my listing, but it wasn't something that I wanted to focus on, so I've taken it off again. But I do think it helps with the search. I think having all that information on there and getting your keywords in your product description and your services description is going to really help you come up in your search terms. So, you know, when, like I say, when you're thinking about what you want to write and you're doing your planning, it's probably worth, if you haven't already done it for your website, sitting down, working out what you want to sell and getting some keywords behind it and get that in the descriptions for it. Attributes are mostly really for bricks and mortar businesses. So it's things like if you're a cafe, you've got free Wi-Fi, might be disabled access. As you can see, I'm going to click on this and it gives me one option, and that's women-led. Well, yes, it is, because it's me. So I've just left that blank. Now, the next bit is the really important bit, and the bit that you might need to do a bit of thinking about. And this is, they call it, when you click on it, it says from the business or something like that. Yes, from the business. It's a brief description of your business. I'm going to shut that down. So you have 750 characters to explain your business, which isn't actually that many. And when you look at the search, let me go back so you see me on here. Let me move myself out the way. You'll see that you only see the first part of that anyway, and then you have to click on more. So this top bit is the bit that really has to count. So if you're struggling to fit everything into that small number of characters, don't put your name, or, I mean, I've repeated it here, but I'm probably going to edit mine, I think. You know, they can see this information, so don't put that in there. Put in something that is going to tell them who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. So how can you help? Because everything about this is helping people to kind of filter out, when they do a big search, whether they want to find out more about you or not. So let me go back to the back end and move myself out of the way again. So yes, so you've got that 750 characters. The other thing to remember here is that you can't put a URL in. So there's no point in saying, come to my website and then sticking your website URL in there, because it's not, it's just going to be a plain bit of text. So, and obviously you're prompted to go to the website when you're on the search results anyway. But there are other places that you can put URLs, and I'll show you those in a little while. I haven't bothered to put an opening date, and you can just add more photos. Now, when it comes to photos, let me see if this shows you mine. Yeah. There is a cover photo, which is the biggest photo that appears in your search result. If you have got premises, obviously that's where you're going to show people what your premises look like from the outside, because they're probably going to try and find you. Or you can use a picture of yourself or your team or your product, whatever it is that is going to show people really quickly all about your business. And then the logo. Now, I've left mine as this to show you something. It is a square. It's 250 by 250 pixels. It's a square. Now, if you go back here, and it's really small, it appears in a circle. So when you're making that profile picture, just remember that you are going to lose the edges. And I know that I've lost tiny bits of my text and I've got to edit it, but I just wanted to show you what that looks like. That yes, it's a square, but it's going to fit into a circle. So just think about that when you're pulling together your profile image, which is probably going to be either a picture of you or your logo. So that is a very quick overview of your info page, where you're kind of going in and optimizing. What I'm going to do now is just take you through some of the other areas that you can use. So your home is kind of like a dashboard. So it's the first place it kind of gathers all of the information together in one place. You can create posts, add photos and make ads. And as you can see here, they're prompting me. It's a free tool. So of course, Google are going to ask you to spend some money with them at some point. So it's always there. You can get a review from here, and you can see your latest posts as well. And you can also get a top line view, move myself out of the way, of your insights. And all of these things are down in this menu on the side as well. So I'm going to actually go in over this from the side. Posts, actually I'm going to do posts from the top. Posts are where you can update information regularly, so you can keep things really fresh, and you will see you have a choice of what to post. You can do an offer, you can do what's new, you can do an event or a product. So there's a lot, and it's kind of like a pre-formed template, so it's quite easy to just sort of follow through the options. I'm going to talk to you about what's new, because that's probably the one that you could use, you're likely to use the most. So you can add a video or a photo, write your post, and then you have a button. So when I said that you can't put a URL in that little bit of information about yourself, this is where you can add other URLs. So you can write a post to take people wherever you want them to be, whether it's your social media or your website or a landing page, whatever it is. So you get a choice of buttons, as you can see, pretty straightforward. And then you get, once you've chosen one, so I want to say learn more, you can put a link for your button in there. You put your URL in, and then when you go, let's go to me, move me out of the way, you will see that this is one of my posts, this is my image, learn more, and it comes up slowly. It's taken a while. Oh, it's taken me to my Facebook page. That's because it's all in my events. All right, I'm going to come out of that. So you've got lots and lots of options to use those posts and to get people moving around. The thing to remember about those posts is that they appear on that results for 7 days, and then they kind of go dark, is the term that I've seen used about it. So what that means is they're there for 7 days, and then they don't show on your results immediately. You have to do see more or view all, and then they'll all be there. All of your posts are always there unless you delete them. So if you were doing, say, an event that was in 3 months' time, and you write a post now, maybe to get somebody to a wait list, that post is going to disappear after 7 days. So if you're thinking about this in like a marketing strategy kind of way, you would be thinking of a series of posts, because they're only going to last for 7 days, moving people along. So put them on the wait list, tell them about the event, doors are open, doors close, that kind of thing, if you see what I mean. Does that make sense? I can see Debbie's nodding. I hope other people are nodding too. So posts are a really powerful way to just make it more dynamic, and you bring it into part of your marketing strategy. The other thing I'm going to talk to you about is reviews. Let's click on reviews. Now, I don't have any. Why is it not clicking? I don't know. Come on. I haven't got any, and I did ask for some last week. And there is an option, I think it's on the home tab actually, where it says share the review form. Now, as Debbie just said, that there seems to be some technical issues, because when you open that up, it gives you a link to copy, and the idea is that you share that and people go straight to that little review form. They can give you your star rating and they can write a review. That didn't work for me last week, and I had to find a way around it. Go on, Debbie.
Say, well, it's only because I've been working a lot with clients getting their reviews up to date, and they're not updating on Google for some reason. So
really?
I think it will, but
yeah,
just, you know, either come back to it or wait to see what happens, because there is a problem with this at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that I've been struggling with. I've been in here quite a lot this week and last week, and yeah, there's been a few sort of glitchy things. So I think you're right, just keep popping back to it. I found a workaround for that, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But when you see, I'm just going to take you back to the results. Not many people have got reviews, so you only need a few to make yourself really pop out. And I tend to I encourage people to kind of work on a quarterly basis. So if you're collecting reviews all over the place, you might say 1 quarter I'm going to focus on Google My Business, 1 quarter I'm going to focus on LinkedIn, whatever works for you. But as you can see, you don't need that many. But as with most reviews, and I'm sure Debbie's got a lot to say on this, you do have to ask for them. Don't just expect them to turn up. But the good thing about Google My Business is that it allows you to respond. And I would always say, if you've got a good review, say thank you. If you've got a not so good review, respond to it and answer it and get it sorted. And that would go with anywhere that you're getting testimonials, but this is where you can see those 5 stars when you come up in a search result. Is really important. The next place is insights. Worth having a look here. I know I'm going to have to move myself across, or maybe not. So you can just see how often you turned up in searches and whether it is a direct, so if somebody's used your business name, or if it's indirect, so that's more a general search term. So you can see. And again, it gives you the option to promote your business if you so wish, if you want to get more. And you can see it tells you which queries were used to find your business. Well, companies near me is not very useful to me. That's not going to help me. But if it said, I don't know, marketing plans or marketing consultancy, that might be more useful. But do keep checking your stats just to see how many times people are seeing it. And I've really noticed, for some reason the graph isn't on there, I put a post on last week and I got a real spike in my views, and I know anecdotally, just talking to other people that I've worked with, that if you start posting, you get more, you turn up in more searches. It's simple as that. So, you know, even if you're doing it once a month, try and put something fresh on there. It's really good. I'm going to wrap it up there because I know that we're kind of running over a little. Actually, I'm not. There's one thing here, and this is a website. And I set this up. You can use this to set up a website. If you haven't got a website, you can go in here and you can set up a website, which just, it pulls information from your listings. You can see that this is, you know, my posts. The opening times are on there. The message number is on there. I set it up and then I got my own website. So I've never really used it, but I do think, and I'm happy for anyone to tell me wrong, that I'm incorrect, but the more information you can stick in Google, the more likely you are to be found in search. So even if you just go in there every once a quarter, something like that, just make sure that it's you've got your messaging is right, that the appointment times are right, anything like that. Just keep it fresh. And this actually is where I found that little workaround. I can't find it now. For the review, it said the button worked. It said get more reviews. There we go. Copied the review link. Now that actually worked. It didn't work when I was on the home, this home bit, the sort of the dashboard bit, but it works in that website. And I only found that because I was just playing around with it and playing around with the website because, you know, I hadn't looked at it for a while. So, you know, if you haven't got a website, it's probably a good idea to fill that in. It's probably a good idea just to make sure it's populated anyway. And that's that. If there's any questions, I'm going to stop sharing if I can. I need to
take this screen share and then we can see if there's any questions in the chat box.
What I've done, Debbie, I've made myself so small and now can't get it big.
Hang on a minute.
Can you stop sharing my screen?
I can stop it. Hang on a minute. Yeah.
I'm struggling to get the whole Zoom.
Hang on. I think I want to share mine.
Oh, hang on. I could just say stop share.
Yeah,
up the top.
Fab. Okay. I've actually recorded that.
Oh, God. It was really garbly.
Well, are you okay? I mean, my thought would be to put it on YouTube actually, and then I can, but I don't know if you want it on a public link or a private link. I mean, it'd be good for you on a public link.
Yeah, I'm happy. You put it on a public link. That's fine.